It's time for the mid-year book freakout tag. I say it's time. I haven't actually done one before. I can't believe it's the middle of the year already. Wow. I can't believe it's the middle of the year in the sense that I've only read 35 books. But it does kind of feel later in the year almost in a weird way. And by only 35 books, I'm not actually that mad about that because my manga to actual novel ratio is way better this year than it has been before. The first question, let me bring this closer to me, in the mid-year book freakout tag is the best book that I've read so far in 2016. The answer is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I said his name right this time. I finished this. I read most of this last year. I did, however, finish it this year. So it goes into the this year category, I suppose. This is a book about a whale and about a man who's chasing a whale and about a guy on a ship. On that ship, there's the other guy who's wanting to chase the whale for revenge. Very good. Very good book. Alternatively, also, The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. That is a book about a senior demon giving letters to his underling about how to tempt a human. Also a very good book. Best sequel I've read in 2026. I mean, I haven't read a novel sequel, so this has to go to a manga. Probably Vinland Saga Volume 11, not Volume 12. But we'll get to that later. But Volume 11. I really, really love, as it is seemingly going to happen, the first 3 quarters of Vinland Saga. And I read Volume whatever early in the year. It's hard to talk about it because I can't spoil things. But Thorfinn, his arc, immaculate. But I haven't read any other sequels other than that. There's not really much other answers to the question because I've read a bunch of One Piece and I also did read some more Naruto. And the volume set that I just read involves Madara and Hashirama's backstory. Those 3 volumes, also really great. Granted, overall, the Naruto ending half has been good, but not great. Oh, and in Naruto, some people died that I didn't know about. I knew one died. I knew my favorite character died. I always have known he's dying. I got spoiled for most of the deaths, and I thought I got spoiled for all of the deaths in Naruto, but no. 2 other people died. One I don't really care about, but one's like my 5th favorite character. I'm so upset about this. I didn't know he died. It was great. Really good. But I can't believe it. It makes sense, but I can't believe he died. This is rude. Okay, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I don't follow new releases. Oh wait, did McKenna put out a book? Hang on, stand by. Yeah! Okay, I got one. I do have an answer to this. This is McKenna Rowell's Unmasked. This is a historical fiction indie book. I don't know what it's about, but I haven't read any of her books yet, and I need to. And I do like historical fiction. And I don't really like going into books knowing what they're about. So we're not going to read the synopsis for you, unfortunately. Go look it up, go support some indie authors, even though I'm not telling you what it's about. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Vinland Saga is ending this year. We're getting the last volume, volume 15, in October. But I'm no longer super excited for it because as we get to the next question, the biggest disappointment is volume 12 of Vinland Saga. There's a time jump, there's some unnecessary stuff, and it just, I think we're going downhill for the rest of the series, and I'm not happy about this. So this kind of qualifies for number 4, but I'm not super excited anymore because the biggest disappointment was also in the same series. Because why would you do that? Yeah. So we'll see. I'm gonna be really sad though if Vinland Saga ends poorly, and hopefully it's just one volume that's really mid and the rest is good. Okay, biggest surprise. The Wood at Midwinter by Susanna Clarke. I listened to the audiobook of it while I was at work, and I don't really listen to audiobooks that much. This was only 30-something minutes long, so I felt like I could handle it. I have a problem with audiobooks for the fact of I just have a hard time paying attention. So well, not thinking, I just start to think about other things, or like, oh, the book will say a word and that word will trigger a different thought, and then I'll start thinking about that thought, and then I'll realize I'm not listening to the audiobook, and this happens very frequently, so I don't really listen to audiobooks that much. But I listened to it at work, and it was really good. It wasn't my favorite thing, but it was really atmospheric, and the prose was really pretty, and I don't know, it was kind of whimsical and kind of magical, which I liked. Yeah. So now I want to read other books by her, which I am going to read at some point. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Newest favorite author, debut or new to you? I mean, I could say Herman Melville, I want to read more, but I think that's cheating because, I don't know, that feels like I already said Moby Dick. Other than that, other than his Narnia series, I actually read my first C.S. Lewis book that's not Narnia related. So I could go for him technically, even though he's not technically new to me because I've read some of Narnia. But I am planning on reading more C.S. Lewis, especially since I really liked the Screwtape Letters. I mean, I was going to read more of him anyway, but now I want to read his stuff more because of how good the Screwtape Letters was. Newest fictional crush? No. I don't do that. Newest favorite character is the next question. Newest favorite character. Oh, I really like Hashirama in Naruto. He's actually kind of adorable, so that's quite cute. Otherwise, in A Man Called Ove, wherever he is, the pregnant lady, Pernerva, something, I'll put it on screen. I can never remember her name quite right because when I read it, I mispronounce it. So then I remember the mispronunciation, which isn't her actual name. So that's not really helpful. But she is the pregnant lady in A Man Called Ove, and she's really great. It's hinted at that she realizes what's going on with Ove really early on, and something about the way she perceives it and then how she acts in accordance, I really, really like. Do I have any other new favorite characters? Oh, Starbuck from Moby Dick. He was the best character. Great guy. 10 out of 10. Okay, book that made you cry. I don't really cry in books. There is, usually the only books I cry in is Christian nonfiction, in which case I did cry in Consider the Lilies by Johnny Artavantis. That is a Christian nonfiction about anxiety. And there was a section and it hit, and so I cried, and that was it. But I don't really cry super much in novels or anything. I just don't. They're not that sad. Or if they are, I don't, like, it doesn't translate to me crying. Book that made you happy. The Young Apostles. That was cute. It's not, like, my favorite thing, but it's a webtoon. It's not a comic. It's kind of like a light novel in a way. It's an illustrated novel, I guess, could be the technical term. But there's not a ton of pictures. It's just like every couple pages. That was cute. The Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Bachman also was bittersweet, but in the same way it was kind of happy ending. I mean, a lot of the early parts of One Piece, very cute, but I haven't been liking I'm on volume 17. I just finished volume 17 and I haven't really been caring for the last 4 volumes, so it's kind of hard to be like, yes, One Piece, when I don't care about this most recent arc. The most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I've been trying not to buy a ton of books because I have too many books that I haven't read and I own. But I did get this purely for the cover, which is the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop. This is a Japanese translated novel about a bookstore that shows up during the cherry blossom season. It's a really pretty cover. So I got it and we're gonna read it at some point. Can't tell you when, but at some point. What do I need to read by the end of the year? Mostly I need to finish my current TBR, which consists of The Night Circus, The Librarian of Auschwitz, A Study in Scarlet, and The Sign of the Four, and The Knowledge of the Holy. I also really want to, also The Naturals, but I don't care that much about that one. Other than that, I really would like to finish The Tale of Genji, which is a big book that I keep bringing up. Otherwise, I'm not like too pressed about finishing one specific book. Let's just do some stats real quick before I go, because my videos are always too short because I somehow don't ramble when I talk about books, which is funny because I feel like I ramble in person and then I open the camera and I'm like, let's be as concise as possible. But let's see, I've read 35 books this year. Let's count how many aren't manga or graphic novels. 14 books are not manga or graphic novel. And then I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 volumes of One Piece, and which gets me the next volume I have to read is volume volume 18. I've read a total of what would be 9 volumes of Naruto, but I read them in the omnibus. So in my head, that doesn't count as 9 separate volumes. It counts as 3 because I don't mark the individual volumes separately. I've read 3 nonfictions, 1 German beginner reader book, 1 chapter book, 1 middle grade, 2, is Baba YA or is it adult? 1 or 2 YA, and then at least 3 or 4 adult novels. Most of the books have been pretty good. Some have been kind of mid. Actually, quite a few have ended up being a little but we'll see. That's the mid-year book freakout tag. Woo! This is the ending of the video. The ending of the video. The ending.